Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Busted Grille Garage. It is bright and early out here this morning, and my goal for today, or this morning, actually in the next couple hours, is to get this sitting on an engine stand. I've got some goodies to toss in it, and hopefully we fix some issues that I think I might be having with it. So here's the deal. Listen close. Like, listen up. Yeah, it sounds like a horsey when he turn it over. It's not good. Generally, and I haven't run a compression check or anything like that on it, but generally that would mean that we have lost compression on one or more than one cylinder. So let's get this thing out, get it on an engine stand, and let's yank some heads off, because we're not going to do the right thing and just run a compression check. We're going to yank the heads off of it to see if we've lost any valves. Now, to be 100% honest here, I'm not so much concerned about this little gallop that we've got going on. I've got different heads to put on it anyway, so just curious at this point. But first things first, I'm going to get the coolant drained out, and then after that, yank the radiator, pull hoses off, and then I believe I'm going to crawl under it, get some exhaust taken care of, and then hopefully, in theory, in the next just very short amount of time, we have an engine ready to oil drain pan. Well, that just means it's a suggestion. Coolant works too. Radiator's drained, hoses are off. Problem is, what have I got going on here? A freaking clustered up mess. And it looks like, oh wait, there's one wire going to the fan. You just take it loose right there. Look at the other one going to the fan. Straight into the wiring harness. Not sure how I'm going to play that yet. And I've also got a fuel leak. Looks like it's leaking several places actually. That's why I hate those adapter plates. We're gonna fix that here in just a little bit though. So yeah, step one on this car, after we get the motor and transmission out of it, wiring. We're gonna clean up wiring, it's a mess. See, this over here isn't too bad. And then there's this. Yeah, that's a mess. So motor and transmission out, wiring. Step one, wiring. Radiator's out, fuel system's out of the way. Got the car up in the air. Time to get some work done underneath, get the driveline loose, and see if we can get this thing, you know, out. Now, if you're going to be messing with your drive line or motor and transmission, taking them in and out, you better make sure chalk your back wheels, because here in a few minutes we're not going to have park. Definitely do not want a runaway Roofus. So we've got most of the underneath stuff buttoned up. Time to drop headers, maybe some motor mount bolts, and then I do have to get under there and unbolt the trans cross member still yet. But aside from some starter wiring and just a couple other things, we are pretty close to getting this motor yanked out. Well, guys, as you can tell, Roofus got sick, threw up its motor, and remember in Jaws, we're gonna need a bigger boat. Well, I need a bigger drain pan. Looks like murder, she wrote. But anywho's, it's time to get cleaned up. It's a Sunday, so time to get cleaned up and head to church. So I'll catch up with you guys this afternoon. So here's the deal. It's probably a good idea to take out your torque converter bolts while the whole package is still sitting inside the vehicle. Otherwise, you got half an hour trying to get 2 wrenches in there and a dangling motor and transmission, trying to make it all drive, and it doesn't. The math just doesn't math sometimes. So upon first glance, everything looks good. I don't see any broken retainers, broken valve springs, anything like that. The only thing that kind of threw me off a little bit was rocker side decided it was going to come out with the with that prevailing torque, they call them, rocker arm nut, and no abnormal wear or anything like that on these lifters that I can tell. Everything seems to be in good shape still yet. No obviously bent push rods. So let's get this set back up, get these heads popped off right quick. All right, so the verdict of the cylinder walls. It don't look bad, but at the same time, it also does not look good. It's goodish, but less good, not good. We'll say it's worse than good, but gooder than bad. That's what we'll roll with. All right, now the right thing to do here, probably pull the bottom end apart. Block probably honestly needs some machine work, or at the very least, a dingle ball hone. But we're gonna do the wrong thing, because the wrong thing is faster, and I'm gonna pretend I didn't see any of that. I don't see anything as far as a piston goes. There wasn't any valves kissing anything, so just gonna pretend we didn't see it. Swap the cam, swap the heads, forget about the bottom end. It looks all right, it's got good oil pressure. So I'm going to get this water pump pulled off here, and then we'll see how far we can get into getting this cam out this evening. So, problem. We've got, feel that? Yeah, you feel that? You feel that through the YouTube screen? Spins freely, right? Oh, wait, no we don't. Unfortunately, pin's gonna have to come off. All right, so I'm to the point where I can pull a balancer off, you know, pull timing cover, pull oil pan, try to figure out what's going on with this. I don't have a harmonic balancer puller. I busted mine and haven't since replaced it. So let's go on a rabbit hole of suffix codes and casting numbers. It's been a minute and a half since I've had this engine out, so I forgot what I've got completely. So let's take a look at this casting number right quick. So we've got 3970014. Well, just in the 0014, just in the casting number, that tells me that it's out of a Camaro. And if we jump up here to the date code, we see K2872. So this would be November 28th of 1972. And if we jump up here to our suffix code on the pad in front of where the head would be, we have a T, which is Tonawanda, 11, which would be November, which matches up with our date code back there. 28th also matches our date code, and then it's kind of wore off, but we have a CKC, and that would mean Camaro, of course, but nothing fancy, just a 350. It's a 2-bolt main, and it made an anemic amount of horsepower, but it was mated into a manual transmission. Was really hopeful that everything would be all right and I wouldn't have to pull the pan or anything. I'm just gonna run it and hope for the best. But I don't feel comfortable letting that little catch that this thing's got when it's turning over. I don't feel comfortable just letting that ride. So see if we can figure out what we got going on here. Hopefully nothing too serious, but that's my luck. Now when I spin this over, I need you guys to watch for me. See why we're hanging up. Do you see what I see? Yeah, that is not a big deal at all. Let's just forget that we had that problem. This crank flange, getting into this bolt on the engine stand just a little bit. I mean, enough to freak a person out, but not a big deal. Aside from that, everything else actually looks pretty good. The cylinder walls, they do have a little bit of vertical scarring on them. I don't know if you can tell, but nothing too terrible. Nothing that we can't slap it back together and send it. There's nothing alarming that would keep us from doing that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to finish this off here tonight. I hate to keep you guys waiting on what I'm doing with this thing, but it is getting awful late. So I better get inside, get a good night's rest. I'll catch up with you guys hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. We'll see, though. Finish getting this thing tore apart, get a balancer puller found, and after that little scare with the crank flange back there, I don't want to go any farther, because what if there actually is a problem? It's too late for me to comprehend that right now. I'm gonna get mad about it first thing in the morning. Is what I'd rather do. So anyway, I will get back with you guys soon, hopefully. Can't wait to show you guys what I've got going on with this engine. Taking Roofus to 2.0 here. We're officially entering 2.0 status. But all of you guys watching, I appreciate it very much. If you're liking what you're seeing, subscribe, please. Leave a like. tell me what I'm doing wrong down there in the comments section. I appreciate it, because I'd like to know what I'm doing wrong, because I'd like to know how to do it right. But I do appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch up with you guys very soon. Have a good night, guys.